How's it going, traders? Hopefully you guys enjoy this weekly Forex forecast, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. All right, starting things off with the US dollar index. The past week, the banks added 2,361 long positions, and they also added 1,945 short positions. And as you can see on the Cot Report, they've been long for a while on the US dollar. That's why I always use the Cot Report. And if you do want this spreadsheet lifetime access, links in the description down below to the Patreon. So as you can see, weekly demand is in control with a weekly uptrend on the US dollar. And we also have a daily uptrend as well. So I do want to be continuing to buy the US dollar until we can see on the daily chart this significant downward momentum being broken. So with that being said, I'm going to keep it pretty short on the US dollar here. I just want to see the 4-hour trend continue up, and I think US dollar longs all the way until, like I said, we can see the daily momentum shift to the downside. All right, on to the EURUSD. The past week, the banks got rid of 8,500 long positions, and they also got rid of 5,000 short positions. Looking at the weekly chart, weekly downtrend, daily downtrend as well. So obviously, I want to be continuing to trade with that overall downtrend. The problem is if you come to this 4-hour chart here, we are clearly just ranging. Prices reacting off of supply and demand. So in order for me to decide which way to trade, I'm looking at the weekly chart and the price is trending down. So what I need to see is this 4-hour demand zone taken out like that. And any supply zone right here, that would be a decent zone to look for a short position. Now, if you are getting in long, which is, I don't really agree with it because you're trading against the overall weekly downtrend, I would need to see this range break to the upside. And then at that point, I think it's fine to look for day trade long positions on lower time frames, and your profit margin would be to this daily supply zone right here. It's very possible that could happen, but I would definitely look to take profits there. And then if price does come up to this daily supply zone, you could definitely look for a 1-hour confirmation coming off of that supply zone. So that's what I'm seeing on the EURUSD. Overall, I want to trade with that downtrend, so I'm personally only looking for shorts even if we start to see a move up. All right, looking at gold forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 2,100 longs, and they also added 6,000 short contracts. Now, I did take a trade in gold at this 4-hour supply zone right here. And why did I take that trade? Well, because I talked about in the last couple forecasts, weekly supply was in control. And I also mentioned that I do believe gold will probably drop to at least 1670 to 1650. So I did see some profit margin, and I did end up taking this little 4-hour zone right here. I did get a 3-to-1 right around down there. I took my profit right before this demand zone. So overall, it was a good trade with that 4-hour downtrend as well. A little bit of a risky trade, not the best looking zone or arrival back in, but at the end of the day, I did take it and I'm happy with the trade. And remember, if you do want all of my zones like this one that I just took, check out the YouTube or Patreon membership. You can get my daily chart analysis, like I said, on a daily basis for only $5 CAD per month. So links in the description down below to join that. So as far as gold goes now, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of setups. Gold, I don't really want to short it. It is coming again. It is coming up to this 4-hour supply zone again, but it is tested already based on my trade. So it is a risky to take a short on there again. So for now on gold, I'm not seeing a whole lot going on as far as trading setups. The only thing I could really see is this 1-hour demand zone. If we get this 1-hour demand zone taken out, leaving us with 1-hour supply, you could use that 1-hour supply to look for a little confirmation trade in. And I don't really feel like getting in long right now on gold, at least until this daily downtrend has been removed. It has not been removed yet. It almost has, but not really quite. So until that daily demand or daily downtrend is removed, I'm sitting on the sidelines on gold. I saw an opportunity to short, and that opportunity is gone now. So now I'm simply just waiting for a dip buying opportunity at around 1675 to 1650, right around in that range, and then I'll start to acquire long positions on gold. USDJPY forecast. The past week, the banks added 500 longs and they got rid of 2,200 short positions. Now, before we get into this analysis, I just want to show you guys the weekly uptrend and the daily uptrend on the USD Japanese yen. That is very important as to why I'm saying it's only longs until we can start to see the daily trend start to change. So I do not recommend getting in short. That's all I can say. And I haven't recommended getting in short this whole time we've had this huge uptrend on USDJPY. So as far as trading setups go, there's a few things that I am seeing. One, On the 4-hour chart, if you are a day trader, this is where you could look for a confirmation trade inside of this 4-hour demand zone. So if price pushes back into here, you can hop down to a 15-minute chart and look for a confirmation trade to the long side. And if you don't know what confirmation is, check out my trading tips playlist, links in the description down below, and I break down exactly what I look for confirmation. So that is one option. That's more for day trading. If you're a swing trader like myself, you could look for this daily demand zone to be hit. So if price pushes back to this daily demand zone, you could look for a 1-hour confirmation coming off of there, and that would be more of a swing trading position. Or like I said, if you're a day trader, you could also look for day trades in this daily demand as well. So right now, I'm personally waiting for this daily demand to be hit on the USD yen, and then I will start to look for a shift in momentum on the 1-hour chart so I can hop in long and continue to trade with that overall weekly uptrend. Now, let's say price pushes back down to here and I lose a trade or I don't get the confirmation and this zone's broken. That's fine. We have another daily demand zone down here where we'll be getting a better discount to continue to trade with that uptrend. And I will also look for a confirmation trade coming off of that daily zone. And I kind of think that what's going to happen is we will see this daily demand zone break, push down to this daily demand zone, and then push up. That is what I believe is going to happen here in the USD yen. So that's pretty much all I'm waiting for on this pair. And I think this pair is probably, this USD yen has been the best pair to trade the past couple months now. And I still continue to believe that. And that is why I am looking for longs in this pair. All right, on to GBPUSD forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 306 longs, and they also added 898 shorts. So as far as the British pound goes, we have a weekly downtrend, daily downtrend, and a 4-hour downtrend, as well as a 1-hour downtrend. So you guessed it, it's shorts all the way on pound. And I did mention that to the private Discord group, as you can see. Now, I mentioned that, and clearly the pound has been pushing down. If you do want access to this private Discord group and many other options, check out the level 2 membership, Patreon, YouTube membership. Links in the description down below to that. So as far as the pound goes, I'm not seeing a whole lot of setups right now as far as the 4-hour chart goes or the 1-hour chart. So we're going to have to wait for new zones to be formed on the way down to hop in short, because none of these zones are high quality or any zones I want to be trading. And let's say the pound pushes up. Well, that's kind of a good thing because there is this daily supply zone right here. And if price pushes up to this daily supply zone, this would be a fantastic area to look for a potential short position, or this zone right here. So even if the pound does push up and proves me wrong that it's going to continue to drop, it's not really a problem because we have these two supply zones that could definitely hold up price and areas that I will be interested in taking short positions in. So as far as the pound goes, there's not really much else to say. I definitely don't recommend getting in long just yet. The only way I would consider getting in long is if we had a 1-hour uptrend and this 4-hour supply was removed, and then you could start to look for longs, but only on a day trading time frame like a 1-minute, 5-minute, or a 50-minute chart, and then profit should be taken before this daily supply zone. So hopefully that makes sense on the GBPUSD. All right, USDCAD. The past week, the banks added 4,100 longs and they added 5,000 short positions. Now, if you watched last week's forecast, I talked about how we have first of all, I talked about how this chart's not looking amazing based on the daily charts kind of all over the map here, but all we had to work with was this upward weekly trend. So with that being said, what I said last week was that longs are really the only option on this pair right now, and I talked about how we needed to see this supply zone on the 4-hour chart removed first before getting in long. So if you waited for that to be removed and you got in long down here or up here, congratulations to you and thank you. Definitely thank you for watching the forecast, and let me know if you guys did that. So we have a 4-hour uptrend on the USDCAD. So you could be set and forget trading, day trading timeframes like the 1-minute, 5-minute, or 15-minute chart based on this 4-hour uptrend. I think that's completely fine. The only problem is the daily chart here, and as you can see, it's just very wacky. I don't know what it is, but we haven't really seemed to get a clean uptrend like this. We're kind of just getting, a little uptrend then a down move. So hopefully we can see a bigger push up on the USDCAD to continue to trade with that overall weekly trend. So as far as any trading setups go right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot. There is this little 4-hour demand zone down here, but what this demand zone is, it's just more of a pivot low and then a push up. So this demand zone, in my opinion, is very, very poor quality. I know a lot of supply and demand traders would love this demand zone, and you could certainly look for a confirmation trade coming off of that demand, but I don't really recommend it. So with that being said, on the USDCAD, not seeing a whole lot. Just going to have to probably day trade this one. I don't day trade, but I know a lot of you guys will, and that's why I'm talking about it. So as far as the USDCAD goes, it's pretty much only day trading long at this point with set and forget trades until we can get new 4-hour or 1-hour zones, and we can look for confirmation in those. But right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot on the USDCAD. All right, on to AUDUSD, the Aussie dollar. The past week, the banks got rid of 1,038 long positions, and they also got rid of 3,600 short positions. So before we get into the Aussie US dollar analysis, remember we have a weekly downtrend, and we also have a 4-hour downtrend as well. So overall, I want to be trading with this weekly downtrend. Why? Well, because trading with the trend is your friend. So as far as the daily chart goes, we had this significant daily demand zone right here, and it was actually just removed this past week. So with that being said, price is looking very weak on the Aussie dollar. So shorts are really the only option right now, in my opinion. As far as any trades go, I'm not seeing a whole lot. If price was down here before we hit this supply zone, I would say you could look for confirmation coming off of that supply zone. It would work perfectly. Now, as far as shorts go, I'm not seeing a whole lot. You could be looking, since 4-hour supply is in control, you could be on the 15-minute chart looking for trades to the downside. I think that's completely fine, and that would basically be a 15-minute supply zone coming off of 4-hour supply. That would be fine. But for me personally, what I'm waiting for is this 1-hour chart. If you look at this 1-hour chart here, we clearly, we had downward pressure on the 1-hour chart, and we broke this downward trend line with this demand. So now for me to get in short, I need to see this demand zone removed. Why this demand zone? Because it broke the downward momentum, and not only that, we actually reacted off of that 1-hour demand as well. So if we get something like this take place where we remove that demand zone and this low, we'll have the ability to draw that downward trend line like this. Excuse my drawing. And then hopefully we'll have a supply zone here where we could look for a pullback and start to get in short. And remember, I will have that supply zone for all of the YouTube Patreon members updated daily. So that's what I'm waiting for in the Aussie dollar here. I don't really recommend getting in long. I wouldn't even consider getting in long until we can see a 4-hour uptrend. But obviously that would take a while to take place. So as far as the Aussie dollar goes, we just need to see the 1-hour demand zone removed. Or you could wait, or you could be looking for 15-minute supply zone shorts. All right, looking at the USD Swiss franc, the past week the banks added 2,200 long positions, and they also added 2,300 short positions. Before we get into it here, remember we have a weekly uptrend, and that is why I thought that this daily downtrend would be removed. So let's hop over to the daily chart here. And in last week's forecast, I did talk about how, you can go back and watch it, I talked about how I thought we were going to explode to the upside based on what I was seeing around this trend line. And obviously that took place very, very well. But we still have a sideways daily chart here. We don't really have a daily uptrend yet. I wouldn't really feel super duper comfortable getting in long until we can see something like this, where we'll have that trend line and then we'll have a daily uptrend. So with that being said, we do have a weekly uptrend, so I want to be trading in long. But the problem is we don't really have a daily uptrend, so you're going to have to be only day trading this. I don't really consider this a 4-hour trend, even though technically, yeah, it is. It's more of just momentum. Trends are more of like bigger moves like that, not just short moves like this. If this continues to go on, eventually it becomes an uptrend. There's not really a actual calculation of when it becomes an uptrend, but clearly momentum's up. So I don't really disagree if you want to be day trading to the long side on 1-minute, 5-minute, or 15-minute charts. But there's something to consider, and that is this 1-hour supply zone. This 1-hour supply zone was responsible for removing demand. So this supply zone, we could see a reaction off of it like this, and who knows, we could push it even lower. So with that being said, if you do want to get in long, I would at least wait for this supply zone to be taken out first. And let's say price does that, leaving us with 1-hour demand. You could look for confirmation coming off of that demand zone as well. So there's a few options here on the USD Swiss. I would prefer to see a daily uptrend first, but longs are fine because we have that overall weekly uptrend. Last but not least, we are going to look at crude oil. The past week, the banks got rid of 9,500 long positions and they added 7,500 short positions. Oil is in a weird situation right now where we have a daily downtrend reacting off of daily supply, but we're contacting weekly demand, and I do believe oil is going to push down lower where I'll be interested in acquiring a long-term long position, adding to my current position. So as far as oil goes right now, there's not a whole lot of trading options because if you want to get in short, the problem is we are about to contact this weekly demand, We have already contacted this weekly demand, but who knows, we could push down lower on oil. My target right now, you can see my alert is at about $83 a barrel. If price pushes back down to there, I will probably start to look for long positions using a confirmation trading strategy. So with that being said on oil, yes, shorts are fine technically, but shorts are only valid on a lower time frame. Like I always say, for day trading time frames, which is the 1 minute, 5 minute, or 15-minute chart. The problem is we're contacting this 1 hour demand zone as well. So I want to see this demand zone removed first before I would recommend getting in short on the lower time frames. So if that demand zone gets removed, I think shorts are fine, and I would look to take profits around 85, something like that. It is a little risky though. Whenever this situation arises, I don't day trade anyways, but if I did, I would simply just be waiting for a bigger pullback to the downside before getting in long. So I'm either waiting for price to drop down lower for a swing trade long, or what I'm going to wait for is for this daily supply let me just fix this chart. I'm waiting for this daily supply to be taken out, and if there's a daily demand zone right here, this is the demand zone I would look for confirmation in to get in long. So hopefully that makes sense on oil. I know I'm kind of all over the map on this chart right now, but with that being said, it's very difficult to trade this one right now because who knows what's going to happen on oil. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there and hope to see you in the next video.